Hello everyone, myself Anmante Gowda. I'm basically from Bangalore. So I'm working in Euromonitor as a tech lead. So today I'm going to present on Elastic Leadership, which is written by Roy Osherove, which basically my understanding on leadership from this book. So what I'm going to follow in my career as a tech lead. So I have prepared a few slides based on my understanding from this book, my learning on from this book. So I collected few important points from this book and I prepared this presentation. So all credit goes to Roy Osherove from whatever the content is available here. So let me start with the agenda. These are the points I'm going to cover today. Team leadership manifesto. What are the manifestos as a team leader, and what are the styles of leaderships and buzz factors. I'm going to explain all these key terms which is from this book as in your leadership journey, and what are the modes in day-to-day life in technology or in company and organization. What is the learning mode? There are several modes. One of this is several mode and learning mode. And what is the language we speak when we speak with the team members, which is commitment language. And how we focus on a growing people. And also we also speak about the self-organization mode, which is basically term used in agile. When there's a time is agile, then it is which is self-organization team. So and also if we also discuss on influence patterns and what are the feeding back which is necessary in as a tech lead for managing any team members in the team. And what are the channel of conflicts into learning, and what are the documents you have to do in your day-to-day life in your working. So change your mind, and the products is your team, and also I'm going to explain on what is this quote on this did not it is talking about the products is our team which delivers a better quality of product. And proximity management is like how the distance between a team lead or manager between a team members, and we'll discuss about that. And you're the lead and not the whole, not the known at all. So it is like if you're a team lead, it's not like that you should be knowing everything. So you know most of few things you can learn from team members, from others. So this is about that. Let's start with team leader manifesto. Team leader manifesto. So you're talking about the first point is like you can make time for things you care about, and this is about like challenge a team to solve their problems, and you facilitate them solving the problems. Not you go and jump in and solve their problems and become a hero. Let the team let them solve their own problems so they can learn, and going forward you'll not be there, then they can solve their own problems. And always take opportunity to learn new things every day, so it will help in your project and product delivery. So keep update with your technology roadmap. And it's all also telling about like get out of your comfort zone. If you're in comfort zone, I think you're not learning anything. If you're in not in comfort zone, then it's like a challenging things you learn, or you'll be out of that comfort zone, so you'll be learning. And be more than one thing. You're not only a developer, you're also a leader. So not as if a team lead is not only helping in the technology wise or in development wise, also you have to lead the team. So because there's no experts, there's only us. So as a team we have to deliver a quality product. And also challenge as a to become a team as a self-organized mode, we have to challenge your self and your team. So it is like do things which is daily basis or in your day-to-day life which is scares you. Try to implement new things or learn new things and bring new things. And also it tells that get rejected at least one a day. So if you get failure or rejected, you'll learn from that and you'll keep on learning for every rejections. So just in time adaptability, sometimes you have to change your leaderships. Not can be, it cannot be there that your leadership style can be, it should be same across all the year. So as per the situation and context, your leadership style should change. So that is about talking about adapt your leadership styles. and always interact with the team members and know things, so it will be helpful to lead your team successfully. And talking about leaders, I was talking about the leadership styles. So these are the what are the role of the team leader. So he helps develop a quality people on team. When people grow, value delivers also grow because skills grows, as it said. Challenge, you have to stop solving their problems of them, coach them to solve the problems in their own. So this is what I was talking about, that if any problem is there, just guide them, not go and sit and solve their problems. So sit and next they come up with another problem, then again you solve. So there will not be a team. It will be keep on going. So you have to let the team members solve their problems and challenge themselves. So next time they'll not come for your help for every time. Maybe sometimes if there is any critical problems. And if and you're also talking about, if when you solve your team member problem every time and you becomes a bottleneck. See, if you go out for a vacation, then they'll call you and they'll ask for your help. So it should be a situation that you should be, when you're when you're not in a project or going for any vacation, your team members should solve their own problems. They should tackle everything. They should be self-organized and they should take care of the project by them own as a team. Leadership styles. So here we come as leadership types. These are the point regarding the styles. So there are three types of leadership styles. One is command and control, coach, facilitator. So command and control, you tell the people what to do. You are the decider. This style where and this approach won't work if your team already knows what you're doing, or if you expect to learn new things, be challenged to become a better. So as point is said, like if you command and control, you decide everything what team members learns. So this command and control applies in some situation, in some context during your day-to-day life work. So this is one of the styles we have to adopt when situation comes. For example, if any team member tells I want to for example, he wants to use some bad coding standards, which you know that is a bad coding standards. No, he tells that I want to use that. You can you can be a command and control. So you should not use like this. You should not follow this. It should be a problem. So in that situation, it can be a command and control. So because he knows, you knows what it is right and wrong. So in that situation, became a command and control. Coach, teaching new things to others. In this case, it will be in learning more, like you tell your team members what to learn and everything, and you became a coach, and you whatever the you knowledge you have, you can coach them and grow people in a team members. And also you lead the team to do practices like a pair programming, coding dojo, those things which they learn things through that. So the main important point is you have to lead the team to do these things. They alone they won't if you're not being a coach. So you should guide the team and lead the team towards better. And is a facilitator. Facilitator doesn't solve the team's problem, but instead relies on team existing skill, because they have so much of skill and they are very self-organized. They can handle all the problems, any problems which comes during our project like day-to-day life. So in this case, we have to only track on how team goes, and you should rely on the team's skills to solve their own problems. This is about the leadership styles 3, and we'll be going on details on how this is applicable in situations and in some modes and during our project in our day-to-day work. So these are talking about team phases and styles. So last slide we discussed on the leadership styles. So there are different team phases. It's divided. If as you, and maybe there are many phases you guys all come across. So we all fall under one of this mode. So I will go through first command and control survival mode. This mode is where the command control relationship type applies. So and where learning mode, where coach dictator applies, where the team is in learning mode and learning the new things. They have a slack time to learn new things. Basically in survival mode, there will be a tight deadline, there will no time, slack time for learning. So in that case, the command and control applies. Self-organization mode. And in this case, as the team is self-organized, they know they have the sufficient skills to handle the projects, and you will be just monitoring and keeping things, checking that things are on track. Yeah, put on some fly clip arts just to make the things. By seeing that itself we can understand. So in the survival phase, in that case, I just started a no time to learn. This will explains everything. Like no time to learn means you are always busy with your deliverables, and there is no always you are busy with deliverables problems being coming on. So there will be no time to explore new things or learn new things in an existing market which the technology is coming. And learning phase, learning to solve your own problems, this is about how we learn to solve our own problems. So if you have a sufficient practices, skills, learnings, so then this will make move to in the learning phase to a self-organization mode, which is the next phase. So this phase is very important, where you'll be accumulating all the knowledge required, because if you have enough slack time, the company organization given a time for you to learn and do explore things. So this time you have to utilize. So to do, for example, TDs, test coverage, refactoring the code, and also if bringing a new technology or anything to your new projects. So this time is like a team has a team leader. He has to be a coach and lead the team towards this. And in self-organization mode, this is a phase where it comes from learning phase to self-organization phase. Once you adopt all this knowledge and skills, you'll be uh, will be a facilitator in this case, where the team is have enough sufficient knowledge. So in this case, that any new technology or new skills they'll learn and adopt, and also the product wise and deliverables they will be solving their own problems, since they have any sufficient uh, knowledge or skills which is coming from learning phase. And in case also, for as a team leader, you will be free from as a bottleneck. So team can handle everything. So you can go on vacation by switching off your phone. So this is about that. So when we talk about the team phases, there is possible that it can go from survival mode to learning mode, self-organization mode, and also it can jump to learning mode, or it can be fall back to survival mode. So these are the points, few points being listed by Roy Osherove in the book. So in survival mode, just a point, no time to learn, constantly putting out fires, late and overcommitted. This is what happens when survival mode. So to move to survival mode to learning mode, what we have to do? Making slack time, remove overcommitted, just list on all the things which is in progress and backlogs and estimates, and plan accordingly, so that remove all overcommitted things and re-estimate with the slack time. So we should put a buffer time to learn plus the deliverables time. So based on that you have to plan accordingly. So in this case we'll move from survival mode to learning mode. And in learning mode, you have enough slack time used for deliverable practices, and mistakes are allowed, because you have a time to learn and uh, and you do things which is enough freedom to do things here. And after a learning mode, you'll be by default you'll be moving to self-organization mode. So the team is skilled to acquire, and also they can acquire, as I said, the team is they are independent and they can acquire skills independently. And leader is not required for your productivity. Team itself a productivity, where they team individual as an individual, they self-organize, they can lead a team and they can deliver a quality product, and they make a self-directed decisions and ability to solve their own problems. And what happens is that team can be moved to survival mode from self-organization mode, which is time, like team requirement changes. There are certain huge requirements comes into fall into your team. So in that case, there will be chance of over committing and putting out fights, and company dynamic change. A lot of other factors will make self-organization mode to survival mode. So here these are bus factors. Maybe the keyword is new, but as picture is explains, the bus, when the bus it's a group of people, the group of people is stop functioning. Like the project is stop functioning. So if any bus it's on the old team, the project is gets stop functioning. So it doesn't work. So number of people who get it by bus for the project or team to stop functioning. This is what about bus factors. So as you see in the clipboard, is you see that meaning of that bus factor. So which explains single point of failure. I would like to use one example from my current my previous organization experience. We had the multiple teams like around 5 to 10 teams were there. They had their individual model services in their individual team. So we had like around 3-4 services we were working on that. So there was a we also we had a major release kind of thing. Like in this case, we are not delivering our own module, our service. In this case, will all team will collaborate and will deliver a one release. In this case, it used to happen yearly twice, something like that with the major release. So in this case, so one person was there, so he knows everything on all modules, like how any failure, or any problems in any while during build script, maybe in during list steps, or maybe in code in every any maybe TLL missing or any dependency between the services. He knows everything as a so I would see that is a single point of failure, because when he is not there, the major list won't success. Because of him, if any issue is there, he'll come and he'll fix immediately and he'll make the release successful. So he is a single point issue. Whenever we get any problem or any face any problem from other modules with dependency services, we first we go contact that guy. So this is how we are creating a single point of failure. And also I will tell in next slides how we resolve this problem. And also I would like to give an DB expert. For example, you are having application modules, you're not aware of DB, only dependent on your code and so developing a service, getting data from other teams. So contact the DB experts. So you're entirely dependent on DB guy for any DB work or any data related work and data related queries. In this case, you are the DB team itself, DB a person who is providing a data XPs or queries, he'll be a single point of failure. And also it's possible that infrastructure experts, so who configure builds and releases and infrastructure clouds to enable your dev environments and live environments. In that case, so if you're only concentrated on developing a services, so there will be a point of failure for your service to deliver is build expert, DB expert, infrastructure. These are the examples I can give from my experience. And bottleneck that slows things to crawl. And also this points explains about I have seen in my previous organization in 3-4 years back, like on legacy codes. Basically on it happens on legacy codes when you're working on new feature on existing applications. For that feature, if you want to modify any architecture related changes like class or they moving here and there, so in that case we have to get approval from architects from our project. So that architect is very busy with other because he has handling multiple teams. So get contact him and explain and get approval from it takes 1 or 2 weeks. So because of this slows the things to deliver the releases. So reducing more and engineering job security. It also like bus factors can be, so he's an expert and he's a very good guy, but he being an expert also not sharing this knowledge to anybody, it will induce a job insecurity. So if I share my knowledge, so that guy will get all my knowledge and he will do my all work, and I will be a they might may remove me because I'm no longer needed. So that things will be coming to the people normally in employees. So they will not uh, like to share in knowledge what they have, expertise, anything. So this we have as a team leader we have to identify these are the points in our team. If you find anything, so these are bus factors. and also discourage a team growth. So, and this one talking about like, for example, you are in your team, you are a guy who doing a like it's about not my job mentality. It's like talking about like, if one team member who always take care of the infrastructure things and build things. So and also you are not worried about though he is a developer, he's not worried about much on uh, developing or contributing to development. So what is mental is my job is to only to build and look after this infrastructure, not my job to do coding and those things. So this will make even single point of failure and bottlenecks, and it will discourage a team growth. So in such cases, he has to be sharing knowledge across all the teams, so everybody can do their these things, and he also can be moved to development, doing the development things. So how we removing avoiding bus factors? As I said, the very guy who is a build expert, an infrastructure expert, just have a, make him a coach. So explain him and make him other team members to sit in for pairing. So this way they can learn and new things. So the first job is to identify bus factor, then your decision to make him a coach or pairing so that every team members share the knowledge. So if he is not there, then it's fine. That other guy knows, other team members knows how to handle build or DB or related things in your project. As I said, bus factor as a teacher, and also these are the ways of how we share the knowledge. We make him a pair programming to do pair programming, and make him a teacher, make him ask him to present on few things which he has expertise, and also make him to sit with for code reviews. And this can be on rotation basis. So one guy is doing one on UI work, another guy doing on DB work, another guy doing on build infrastructure related. So next sprint, for next task, you rotate those guys. Ask him to make this. One guy who is doing build and infrastructure can do UI work, and other guy who is doing UI work can be moved to any server related like API work. And this is also talking about pushing out of their comfort zone instead of asking veterans to do it. So this is also talking about the person who is doing a build or a DB. He is always happy with that because he's being not challenged. He's doing a daily day-to-day same work, and there's no much to do it. So just pushing out of that comfort zone and making to challenge him to work on new things. Survival mode. So this is about modes we are talking about. So how do you identify your in a survival mode? So your team is constantly chasing its own tail and putting out fires. It's about like overcommitted, and team is sitting night to and late nights, and instead of having time to sit down, experiment, learn new things. And survival comfort zone. What is the survival comfort zone? Is staying up late, fixing that build, fixing that late night build, being a hero, sort of sit, but again repeating the same things every day. So being a hero every day. So that we call as survival mode comfort zone. And survival mode addiction example, refactor the code. This is about like he's okay with like instead of learning new things, adapting new things in technology, in going market, you'll follow that legacy code and refactor things and doing indirect works. So he's happy with that addiction, and he'll be addicted to that in not bother to or not try to implement a new things. For example, I can use the legacy codes. If you think of like there was no dependency injection, there was no lock format, those kind of things are new when you're developing a project. So you're bothered to adopt those dependency injection kind of analysis unity because you're more addicted and you're okay with that code, existing code. Why to implement or make it changes? It is not my job. Something like that. We can call it the survival mode, which I observed in my experience. Few people getting out of survival mode. How we gave, as we explained in that diagram, that are circles, getting out of survival mode, creating a slack time as standard in work progress. So create a slack time in work mode. So for example, if you have 8 hours of working day, then make 6 hours for deliverables and 2 hours for your learning, which is slack time. And also for to accommodate this, it re-estimate with task or user stories with this considering this slack time, so it will remove overcommitted things. So almost, for example, it's been given like how much slack time do you need. So for example, you're going to learn on TD. So in this case, initially when you start for TED, it will slowly implement the same number of features. Like one feature takes 10 days, then if you implement TED, it will take more than like maybe 30 days, 35 days because you're in learning curve. So that is how you decide how much time you needed for. So for example, it's been given in book. Making slack time and why slack. So how you make your slack time? Find out your current commitments, what are the commitments you made. Find out your current risk, hidden things that might be holding you back, like maybe your team members, one of your two members has been committed to do something out of the project, like from other teams things. So you have to find out all these current risk in your point in your project and hidden things in your project. So to correctly estimate what your current commitments. And how do you remove commitments? So the list of the current task in progress explained. So you have to give the entire report. What are the current tasks being completed? What are the current tasks in progress? What are the current tasks in backlog? So, and there is always risk of losing face with upper management by making slack time, because they always they'll not initially they'll not be okay with this slack time, and they'll be always with the deliverables because upper management always deal with the deliverables. And risk of failing, there is also possible chance of risk of failing, and don't fear confrontation, so always ready for confrontation. Survival mode, again the leadership styles in this mode is a command and control. So correct bad decision and play to the team strengths. So get rid of a disturbance. A team strengths is like some team, maybe for example in survival, maybe the new technology, you are working on new project which is everybody is doing learning and new things. Then you have to look at the team strength. So one guy is expert on that, other guy is not expert, so you have to play according to that your team strengths. Your job is to identify that your team member strength and manage accordingly, and also get rid of any disturbances. And what are during transformations, start spending more time with the team, so they can learn from you. You will be always should be there for your team during a survival mode. And also take ownership of our team, taking any decisions or anything, any related team product deliverable things. You have to take ownership of everything and lead a team. And also for getting all the status on how this project is going, you have to start daily stand-ups meetings to see how is progress made. And also start doing serious code reviews, so that initially in the survival mode that the team members took. So when you try to do all serious codes, they can also be serious. They also start doing code for their peer developers. So that is a like what is like it's a your enterprise. You have to start it, so that if you're not starting, nothing will start. So you have to take ownership and you have to start practices, code reviews, and you have to set a guidelines. And this is what our team leader should do. The team leader to lead successfully team. and and also code reviews or entry way for broken windows. So it's like if you think there is something not going code review, if you leave like that, again the next code review, again it will start growing, so the broken windows will be more. So this is all about that. Okay, learning mode. And this one you have slack time, and you're deliberately using to practice new skills. So what is, and there is a one more concept here to explain how learning modes applies in your project day-to-day life. That is about Ravin. What is Ravin? When you learn a new language programming technology, so there will be always learning curves. And but ravens are eventually end. You emerge with a new knowledge, but initially it will be a downtime, and then you'll pick it up very quickly. And how we can call it a raven? You're scared to take this step. You're scared to take step like fear is a new, for example, in the market maybe there is a new technology like Angular 2. So already you're working on Angular 1, so Angular 2 is entirely different. So you're scared of taking the Angular 2 because it's entirely different syntax, everything. So that can it can be called as a new heaven. So it will challenge you. If you're scared, it means it will challenge you. It will teach you new skills. So that is what you identified as an heaven. Challenge your teams into events. You should be a main example for challenging and leading a team into events. So if you find out any new technology, new practices which help this team to acquire knowledge, then you have to bring and you have to challenge your team to do that, and also monitor so accordingly that team is going in right way on track. So this if you see that graph, you can see the productivity. So first time when you see that productive is being if you consider only C is left image and ignore the right image, if you see the productivity it goes on increasing. But if you look at it in a detail, so there are the dots where is a learning curves. You start learning, then when there is a very downgrade in the productivity is because you're learning new things. So after learning, adapting knowledge, and suddenly for some time it will be productivity will be less, but suddenly it will increase to top. That is how these steps will increase. There are like curves, learning curves from point to point, but there is an immediate effect and immediate increase in productivity after your learning curve. So this is about talking about commitment language. Getting a language is commitment is about getting people to agree to do something and mean it. So what does commitment sound like? For example, I hope to finish this week. I will fix this bug as soon as possible. A way out. So if you look at this answers, you can be think that I hope to finish. He may fix. He may finish this week, or it may take month, or it may take 3 weeks. So this is about not committed sound like, and he'll fix this bug as soon as possible, but he's not giving a time when he's going to fix, but he'll fix as soon as possible. It can be 1 or 2 days or 1 month. So there is a way out. If you see in that language the sounds, there is a way out. So what does commitment sound like? So if you take the first example, I hope to finish this in week, it can be transformed to make team members to speak like, I will finish this by end of this week, and I will fix these bugs by end of the week, and commit to things you are under control. So for commitment and to work, for integrity to exist, you have to insist that people commit only to things under their own control. Like this about talking like, for example, I'll give like, there are things like when you're working on any task, anything, if you're fixing any bugs or things which is under your control, we can do it. So there is no dependency on your task. So in based on that, you can commit like, so I can do this, okay, I can finish the web work and API work. And if there is any DB work which you're not under your control, so till DB work you can commit, okay, I can do this in 2 weeks. But the dependency is under things which are not under your control is a DB or infrastructure related. So that time you have to be you have to differentiate whether to speak in commitment language, because when you speak of commitment language, I'll finish this work by week, you will finish your work, but always there is a dependency work which is not getting done. So you have to commit to things under your control. Turn an impossible commitment to possible. For example, I'll fix this book over the next week. Should become like a work at least 5 hours each day for next week to fix these bugs. So it is like speaking in so that the second sentence, it sounds very confidential, very confident, and gives that you'll be working to fix this book as soon as possible. So finishing the commitment conversation. When it's not clear, you can commit to work on these 5 hours each day or for next weeks. So this is about like example, when he speaks like I'll fix this big as soon as possible. We can question him. So when you'll fix it, you can become questioning, and also by once I answer that I'll finish this by this week or 2 weeks. As I will look into it. If you say like that, you can just finish that commitment conversation by which is not when it's not clear. You can commit to working on this for. You can give it deadline or hours by saying that you can commit to working on these 5 hours each day for next week. You can ask questions, so you'll be able to answer yes or no, so that way you can get the commitment sound from him. So growing people, problem challenging. So this is about like in a team how you grow people to learn new things, adopt new technology, and learn new technology which will be helpful in your product deliverables. So example, we need to learn TED. What are you going to do about it? Don't punish for lack of trying or lack of success. Homework is a personal commitment, not a task. So homework as a follow-up. And also, do you have enough learning time to make this mistake? And the situations are why you shouldn't go prepared. So there are situations where you shouldn't grow people. So these are the problem challenging in when growing, taking that when team members are growing. So self-organization mode. Use a clear meetings to advance self-organization. Structure of the meeting. So in self-organization, as we spoke about, the team is very self-organized and they are able to solve their own problems because they have enough skills and enough knowledge on technology and latest things. So they'll be in self-organized team. So and how we track operate in the self-organization mode. So should be a structure of meeting, and we should be always asking what has not been working for you this past week, and discuss the possible detours. And if any problem is there, if we experience any problems during this meeting, we can ask them what are going to do about it and discuss and possibly more detours. So this is how, and also we can one more is what has been working for this past week and your closing words to finish this channel's meetings. So in this way, you can understand in this from this meeting that what has not been working this past week and what has been successfully done, being working, and what are the term issues or any possible things we can be discovered this from this meeting through these questions, 3 questions like what are working, what are going to do about it, and also if there is any issue, and also ask and let him answer what his plans to resolve these issues. And this influence patterns, and this influence part is one of the good topic, like it helps to understand why when you meet a resistance when trying to make a changes, why someone is behavior not changing. So in these cases, if you want to analyze what's going on with any team member or team, you can ask these questions to get based on this pattern you can get some answer from out of it. For example, there are seven forces like personal ability, personal motivation, social motivation, environmental ability, environmental motivation. So personal ability talks about do they have skills or knowledge to perform what is required. Motivation, they have right behaviors, dislike wrong behavior, or social ability, or others in team members that provide help or information. Social motivation, and around the people are encouraging right behavior, discouraging wrong behavior. Those things we can get it from the social motivation. Environmental ability, other aspects in environment building, budget, and so on. Environmental motivation such as bonuses, incentives use, those are other things wrong or right. So from this pattern we can discover what is the problem with this guy or team. So for example, influence patterns TED. So for example, take for want to implement a TED practice in a project successfully. So someone is to evaluate on our team members. So just check with the personal ability. Yes, they took a 3 days course with the Roy Osherove. So he has a knowledge on TED course by going through these codes with Roy Osherove. So you should be having a personal ability to move forward on TED. And personal motivation, and personal motivation is like he likes to do or not. So in that case, I want to have one-to-one meeting with him. So he also interested in to implement these things and follow this practice. So that is fine. Social ability, there's no problem as such. Social motivation, so everybody is cooperative as much as possible. And environmental ability. Okay, here it comes, like we don't have budget for build machines. So these are the factors which identify what went with this problem, why we're not being successful with the TD. So what is the problem? So in this case, we came across 4 points. It's quite good. It's not a problem with personal or social. So there's some issue with environmental issue. Like when you try to spend time unit testing, our manager tells us we are wasting time. So these are demotivation from upper management. So it will not motivate our team members to do things which is required for adopting new skills and delivering high quality products. And if you ship early with low quality, we get a bonus. So these are the environmental motivations, which makes things difficult for the team. So you are the team lead, so you have to work on this and identify things, and you have to take care of that. Feeding back. It requires the ability to sit face to face with a person and confront an uncomfortable subject head on. This is about like a feeding back, whether it's right or wrong, what went wrong, it's fine. So this is very important to, with the team members to get a feedback or give a feedback to team members, what's going on, and any help is required, anything. So through this feedback, it will make clear transparency between team members and team. So it also requires to sit face to face with person and comfort on things which is head on. In the survival phase, there are three phases we are discussing, and the feeding back, how we applies this feedback in these phases. We're just going to explain that. So feedback might be related to the people doing things that are confusing situation, people not contributing, even explaining why someone must do unpleasant task. Maybe like if there is a confusion situation, people not contributing to like TD or in work. So in that case, feedback may be related to that to resolve these things. In learning phase, feedback usually be related to missing skills. So if you find anything missing, like a team is learning, but there is you find out that TD practice is not there, VD practice is not there, and they're not following domain-driven approach. They're not following design pattern, and they're not following the solid principle. They can give, you can identify them and feedback to the team that this is not correct. You have to do like this. In self-organization, feedback would be more about decision team as whole team has an overall goal for the team. So in this case, organization mode, like it's not an individual. As a team, we deliver productivity. As a team, we take a decision, and as a team, we deliver overall goal for the team. Channel conflict into learning. This point is about like if there is a team member, all team members are they're very skilled, and they're very knowledgeable, and they're up to date with technology. So the situation comes like if any problem is there, they have each and every has a different solution, which are all good. So in that case, it leads to different opinion, high profile teams. It's necessarily bad things. But in this case, you have to jump in, you have to take a decision, which is good, which is bad. And also conflict is a necessary ingredient for learning teams, which will make it will introduce a more conversation, it will introduce more topics and introduce more learnings. A conflict between, as I said, a strong personality can be difficult to manage, can cause faction click within a team and eventually tear it apart. Though in that case, you have to manage it properly so that all team members are happy with the decisions. So there's a team lead job to take care of this thing. And also you can how you resolve this, like that all solutions are good, you can ask them to do parallel learning and parallel implementing, and you can do benchmark and get the reports. So based on the performance of benchmark report, you can decide which one to take. So it's transparent, it's not like your decision based on the performance area and solutions, you can decide it. And what do it's about documenting a things which is done in project, like you have to document where is it's like about like if any new team member comes, if you go through this document, is able to start working on the project. on user stories. So this is how your document should be. It should not be very detailed. It should be in such a way that you can understand easily and set up the things and start working on. So where is our code repository? What tools need to be installed in your machines on your development environment? And what are the steps to build the products? Is there a pattern how code is laid out on the what are the coding guidelines or code review guidelines to be followed when doing coding, and how the tasks are tracked, and what is the branch pattern in our project, and is there any integration, continuous integration server, and how the specific methodologies should be followed. So these are the things which should be documented and kept it in a shared drive, which all teamers can be accessible and available for one click, so that it can be any team members, anybody can look into it, and if there is new questions, you can update the documents. So if there is a new question, there is no answer, they can add that question, answer that question, then keep on updating that document so that it's always up to date. Change your mind, and also, yeah, correct. So if you think of as a team, your product is your team. So everybody is organized such a way that we are stick to deliver a quality product as a team. And how good your team is, how your product will be. So as good as your team. Behavior of team will determine the quality of products. As said, in survival mode, decision based on getting team out of survival mode. And learning mode is on based on what removes and other best factors from key points, so that team can flow in their implementation of solution to problems, ultimately reach pure self-organization state. In self-organization mode, it's about keeping things flowing and making sure that if anything degenerates again, you take a right step to correct the situations. These are things you have to consider when you when you want to deliver high product quality products. Proximity management. It's about how you distance maintain between team members, or where you sit, like the move your behind. When you understand that distance reduces the communications, and move your desk where the work happens. So this makes more conversation and more interactions, and you'll be more visible to the team and will be more helpful to the teams. So distant people should match the importance of work. You are in a team clean, you should be sitting with your team members around, so address their problems and always interact if anything wrong or right. So in that case, it will increase more interaction and it will be always interact with your team members. And also in diversity and distance should match a diversity of work as well as other aspects. So by moving closer to where the important things are, you are more able to notice and react to the things faster. Yeah, that is right. You are the lead and not the known it all. So yeah, of course we are lead. I'm lead. It doesn't mean that I know everything, so I can do whatever team has and whatever. So I know few things, so I can learn few things from team members. Few team members can learn few things from me. So as a team, we have to deliver things. As a team, we have to learn new things about new technologies. One of the traps team leads encounter is that need to know it all. So that is one of the traps team lead encounters. So by establishing this as sole tag, you can become the main button for decision making delegation. So this is about talking about a bottleneck or bus factor, as a team leader being a bus factor. So in that case, you have to make sure that things are every team members are depend on you. You become a bottleneck. You should be have delegation and share a knowledge across the team so that everybody knows when you're not there what to do. Not only you're becoming a bus factor, you're also not coaching but telling not only your own ideas. So listen to your team members' ideas, evaluate, and take a right decision. So that not always that your ideas should work on your team. So this is about elastic leadership on my understanding from this book. Hope you, if any questions, please post on this link so I can answer to them when I'm looking into it. So thank you very much. Thanks for listening. So thank you.